All right, and we're back, everybody. Welcome back to TingleCon 2021. I'm Nathan ASMR, and I am joined here with a talented cast of ASMR artists. We have Tippy Tappy ASMR, Carol ASMR, FamKam ASMR, and of course, the great Amy K ASMR. And today we're going to be talking about comedy and ASMR. So just a really unique combination of things, and of course, one of the most hilarious subjects, pun intended there. But why don't we have about an hour here, so maybe go a couple minutes over. But we do have a lot of audience questions, so I'm going to get to those towards the end. Yes, we do. That said, why don't we jump into the first question? I've been sort of starting each panel off with this question here because it is TingleCon. We want to create a bit of a love fest here and support our fellow artists. It is a little bit. Who are your favorite ASMR artists right now, or just people you feel are underrated?
Who wants to start?
Silence. I'll go.
Was this starting?
Liam,
my favorite is, it's got to be Fred's voice.
I was going to guess.
Also underrated as well, right? He's not small by any means, but I still feel like Fred is massively underrated. Yeah. He's also very funny as well, so, and handsome and
or rude.
I could fill up the whole hour with this if you want.
As he would say, rude barber.
yeah, exactly. The rude English gent.
Rude, yeah.
Come on, Amy. Come on, go ahead.
Of course, my favorites kind of change all the time, but the ones that I am listening to a lot right now, Whisperwind ASMR, Tinglesmith, they're my favorite in terms of fantasy. For sleeping, I love Peace and Serenity. For comedy, someone who I think is incredibly underrated, just criminally underrated, is Bearded Audio ASMR. I love his ASMR. So good.
He's just such a funny person generally.
Yeah, I think he makes some really great comedy.
We love him. Him.
He'll be joining us in a panel, of course. Don't forget.
Ian.
Big in the Twitter game.
As for me, there's coming from all different kinds of niches. As far as comedy goes, Terrar is amazing, and Scottish Murmurs, especially with her impressions of other ASMR artists, I really, really love that. I've done a couple myself, in part inspired by her doing that, and also my love for doing voices. I'm best known as Solid Snake and Bob Belcher, but
I thought you said Bob the Builder. Sorry, carry on.
I don't even know what Bob the Builder sounds like. Does he even have a voice?
Yes. Is he?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
We're all thinking.
I've never watched Bob the Builder, and Carol knows this, I've never watched Teletubbies either.
Oh my goodness.
You've never watched Teletubbies?
No, I was
it's never too late.
I guess. I was 13 when it came out, and I was embarrassed to watch it.
Well, I probably make fun of you if you're watching Teletubbies at 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
Wow.
Maybe I'll.
We have bullies in here.
Oh no! I'd at least have a sit down and be like, listen, Keith, you're 13. And you're watching Teletubbies.
13 going on 33. Going on 34. My birthday is next month. Holy shit. Time flies. But I digress. And another big niche of mine, of course, is gaming. That's the panel I did last year. Some of my favorites there, of course, is the ASMR Nerd, one of my best friends in the community now, and ASMR Gaming News. Snorri Time, an up-and-coming gaming ASMR artist I highly recommend. She has a deep, soothing voice. It's full-on radio status, holy shit. And of course, that's Awkward ASMR.
That's an amazing name.
Yeah, that's Awkward ASMR. Her face cam is an Animoji. She uses an Animoji as her face cam. It's so neat.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And mine at last it's obviously Liam, because obviously.
I was trying not to be biased.
Actually, you are probably one of the few guys that I've ever fallen asleep to. So
I thought you were about to say fallen in love with then.
I mean, Yes.
Yeah.
No, falling asleep too, because I don't really like guys. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite.
Sexist. Like just fall asleep.
Well,
You absolutely.
I mainly listen to guys as well. So,
Yeah.
but there are some women ASMR artists that obviously like.
I don't know.
I'm very
I don't know.
50-50 when it comes to the gender of the ASMRs. I don't give 20 craps at all.
I don't care what the gender is. It depends on the content, I guess.
Yeah.
I think for me the big like is a lot of like my real life ASMR experiences when I was growing up were like the doctor or the optician or and it was always like an older guy that would be like, so it's like something just like triggers that nostalgic relaxed feeling that I'm like
For me, it was my parents sweeping in the backyard.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think I do it on purpose, that like sexist ASMR. I just noticed that all the ones that I normally watch to fall asleep, they're women. I don't know. It's just something that I noticed, like, why do I do that? Should I go to therapy?
Well, I mean, in the beginning, I actually did not listen to any male ASMR because it didn't give me ASMR, because I liked the more motherly ASMR artists, and that's why I liked women.
Maybe that's why.
But the more I like explored ASMR, I was able to open up, and find all the other genres.
To
I
me,
think my favorite then it's sorry, I didn't say who my favorites were. Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
It's Gentle Whispering.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. She's like my go-to. Like if I cannot fall asleep to anything, I'm like, Maria, you need to help me. And Sophie Michelle. Sophie Michelle.
Yeah.
I really like her. I think that's why, because they're like so gentle. Maybe that's what I like gentle and soft and hand movements everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
I think the if there is any one difference for me when it comes to listening to ASMR between men and women, is that I like listening to a female voice to calm down because it's usually softer, but when it comes to falling asleep, I usually go for a male voice because something deep and bassy that puts me into a trance. Of course, being one of the most notable exceptions to that is Snorri Time. She has a deep female voice. In fact, on the titles in all her videos, it says deep female voice, a very good unique search term. So it's a voice like that is good for me falling asleep, whereas a soft, more light pitched voice is good for me to calm down from anxiety, but not go to sleep too, if that makes sense.
All right, great. So let's move on to the next question here. That was really nice. Get a little warm up here. Get your interview boots wet. So let's talk about your favorite comics, because I think we're gonna just lead into the creative stuff, but and maybe just some people you like who do comedy. It doesn't have to be a stand-up. It could be someone who does it in movies or things like that. And if you could bring one of these people with you to do a video, who would it be?
Dimitri Martin, because he is an brutally and unapologetic nerd like me. And
Nice.
and he's very artistic in his approach. A lot of drawings involved, and I really love that shit. And a lot of his jokes are like one-liner jokes. So if your brain goes into a trance like mine does, you don't have to keep track of the story. Like sometimes I can, but not always. With comedians like Dimitri Martin and Dan Mintz, who also does a lot of one-liner jokes, I could just hear the joke, laugh, and move on, and I think that's really nice. I was actually at one of his recordings of Important Things with Dimitri Martin those many years ago when he did that show at the second season. He came to San Francisco and did season 2, so I went to one of his shows, and it was the best.
Oh.
I would pick James Acaster. I don't know if anybody has watched.
Who's that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Like everyone just has to do like a YouTube compilation search of James Acaster.
Okay.
He's just really, really funny, and like a lot of his jokes are those kind of jokes that are like really bad, but the delivery, like that's why they're funny. It's like a penguin bar joke, but like the delivery, like the way he just tells jokes it's just brilliant. Like he's just a really funny person, whether he's trying to be funny or not.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a very specific skill that not many people have. So yeah, I feel like he would make a really funny ASMR video as well, because he'd just be like, so what is going on about
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
I really like the classics, like all the SNL comedians.
Yes.
I love the female ones, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Minnie Kaling.
Oh, yes.
Hell yes.
I also love like Steve Carell and Will Ferrell. Like
I feel like you're sucking up to me right now.
I know. And Jim Carrey, just all of them collectively, all their TV shows, all their series. I love that stuff. And of course, I have to mention Bo Burnham. Love that guy.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one to do an ASMR video with, I'd say Amy Poehler.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that. Let's contact her. Can we just
please?
me?
I think I would do an ASMR video with John Benjamin and not show our faces so that nobody knows who's talking at what time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That'd be great.
Fantastic. Oh, go ahead.
I haven't talked.
No, I was just, yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna ask if there was something you want to add.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I love you, Nathan.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was thinking, I love comedians so much. Like I something that I normally do with my boyfriend. We always go to see comedians. Well, before the pandemic at least. So I love Jim Jeffries. He's an Australian living in the US, and I love his dark humor. I love him so much. It's amazing. Jim Jeffries, Jimmy Carr. He's English. He's like he's that type of one-liner. And we went to one of his shows, and I made him pick Jay because it was his birthday, and it was amazing listening to him roast my boyfriend. It was gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah.
We're already on to Carol's kinks, and we've only just started.
I'm sorry, Jay, but it was so funny. It was so funny. But then, I love like funny actresses, like Emma Stone, for example. Like she's like my go-to. Like she can be like so dramatic, and at the same time she makes me laugh so much. Her facial expressions, and that's something that my followers always talk about me. They always say like, you're so expressive, you do so many things in your face, and I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it, that's just my face. I'm living.
You're very expressive in general in the real world, so it only makes sense.
So yes, I don't know who I would choose. It would be funny to see Jim Jeffries because he's so that dark humor. It would be really funny because he wouldn't take it seriously at all.
I would love to see Jim Jeffries. I remember when you told me when you last went to see him that he's autistic like me, and that's freaking awesome. I love to see fellow Aspies doing comedy.
And he loves the C word like I do, so I love him.
What word is that, Carol?
I cannot say we're on Twitch.
It took me a second.
Yes. I can
remember. Australians love that word.
Yes.
Yeah.
and Carol for some reason.
Yeah, Carol is what she meant. That's what she meant.
Yeah.
All right, so let's actually move on to the next question here, because I want to ask one question that's kind of, again, a general one, and then we're going to do this creative questions, and then the audience questions. But I have just a line here: laughter is the best medicine. What do you think about that idea?
So true.
It is true, because if you laugh too hard, there are side effects.
Probably doesn't work for like a broken leg though, right?
No, I don't think so. But it makes you feel better about it.
Yeah.
Like,
it reduces.
Could be worse.
Someone's laughing at your broken leg though.
It reduces the stress in your body, and stress is a hindrance to physical healing. So
yeah,
it does.
I mean,
I'd
still take the morphine in that situation.
Oh, I would take both.
But yeah, I mean, generally, like obviously, laughter is. I don't know. It's one of those. It's like very contagious, isn't it? It's like if someone's laughing and you just start laughing with them, it like you can't help but be in a better mood. So I get that.
Totally.
Yeah, like it's pretty powerful.
That's what I normally used to do when I'm in a bad mood, or like someone puts me in a bad mood, or something makes me sad. I normally I would watch like a stand-up comedian on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Or even I used to go, like years ago, I used to go 9gag all the time just to see memes, and just like I would be like okay in 10 minutes. It was like that's really works.
Fun fact: every time Carol talks to me, she watches a stand-up comedian afterwards.
Why?
I got it.
Because
Carol's not gay enough.
I didn't get it.
Because you said when something or someone puts you in a bad mood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the expressiveness.
So let's actually, because I want to just keep us on time here. So one question I think that's really important, and we're here for ASMR and for comedy. Why don't we talk about how you're combining ASMR and comedy together? Do you observe situations and create comedy like that? Do you just create it in your head? Is it something where you're creating ASMR first, and then you're like, maybe I want to throw a couple jokes in there? Talk us through your process.
I'm just nuts. That's just myself. Like I don't process it or think about it or like, oh, I'm going to say this. Like maybe, I don't know. I don't think I ever done that. Like I hate scripts with all my life. They give you so much anxiety, like so much anxiety. But then if I have to do like a play, I have no problem. So I don't know why it's different with ASMR. But that's because my studio is over there. That's why I'm pointing that way. But in my case, it just comes out like that. I think I just let my mind wander, and then I'm not thinking what I'm saying. Then I'm editing, and then I'm laughing because I'm like, why did I say that? Like, where did that come from?
I'm like exactly the same because I don't like generally ever set out to be like I'm gonna make a funny video. I normally like I'm gonna do a character that is rude or sassy or something like that, and they're like the ones that people find funny. But like I'm the same. Like I don't script it. I'm just like, okay, I'm a really rude, horrible barber. Go, and then I'll be like, I'll say something, and then I'm thinking, where did that come? Like I'll watch it afterwards, and I'll be like, where? Like I don't know where this stuff comes from, but like it will crack me up afterwards. Like I made up a whole like assistant in the last barber video I did. That was just like was not planning to do that. Just in the moment, I was like, Betty. But it just ended up like being pretty funny, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on inside my brain, but
it's an outlet.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. I think I love writing scripts. I get a lot of my inspiration for the type of comedy because I like to do different types of comedic videos. Depends on the character. Oh, there's a plane in the background. Wonderful.
It wouldn't be ASMR if there
it wouldn't be ASMR. Dang airplanes.
It's one of my flight simulator planes.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, FamKam. But yeah, anyway, characters. So like if I watch a movie and there's like a specific character that I really like their energy, I will steal their energy and create a character and then write a script based on what I think they would say. It's like half script writing, half improv. I write a script for the first part and then improv the second part because I want to be able to draw people in and have, yeah. So I like scripts.
I'm with Liam. I don't like scripts. I do like a certain level of planning because when I do role plays, I'm usually playing characters that are either impressions of existing characters or people or based on that. So I gotta know the kind of character that I'm doing, like what their quirks are, what they're like. But I don't like write down a script or anything like that. I just have like jot little notes of each beat. And then I go from there. But as far as details go, what I say and what I do, that is improvised. But I will sometimes like throw in some little quirks based on what the character's like. Like a while ago, I did a Dr. Mario role play, and when I'm asking the patient what their allergies are and stuff like that, and like, are you allergic to fire flowers and shit like that. And also I sometimes do characters that are original but based on stereotypes, like not racist shit, of course, but like I have a character named Donnie who's like based on, because I'm from California, so I had to do one based on California stereotypes. It was actually based on an impression that Christopher Walken did of me, so it's my impression of his impression of me, and sounds like a stereotypical
Inception.
Yes, sounds like a stereotypical Californian, and has like very surfer, stoner, high maintenance shit all in one. Like I did one where Donnie is the front desk associate at a California hotel, and he's talking about the gym, and he's like, so like you go in the gym, right, and then you do one set, and then you go outside, and we have our staff go in and we clean it off, because who wants to get any sweat on you? It's like like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I want to actually ask another part of this creative process here. I guess I've kind of asked all the panels this question, but how do we maybe actually, you know, because I should distinguish, there are people who don't use triggers, but do you try to mix in triggers? And if you do, how do you do that with this kind of stuff?
So I do. And I think that's like, so I don't script anything I say in a video, because like the only times I've ever scripted is when I'm the opposite of you, actually, Keith. So when I've done a character that exists, like a Darth Vader or Oogie Boogie, like I script those and I try and bring in like quotes and things, and I like, like if I'm doing a character that exists, I feel obligated to like have a good script that would fit. But when I'm like making up my own character, I do that completely off the cuff. But the kind of triggers and like the things I'm going to do in the video is the bit that I'll bullet point out, or I'll set stuff out that I know that I'm going to use in this order, kind of thing. So I like, but yeah, I mean, I generally do it with like a character scenario, so something like a haircut, like I'll make it a sassy, rude haircut or something like that. Or yeah, like there's generally a scenario that I'm like acting out, which kind of usually I can find a way to fit in some good triggers, even if it's something simple like writing on a notepad or something, like doing a questionnaire type thing. And then it's like the character is more where the humor comes in. But I use the two. But you can do some like really funny stuff. Like if you're doing a haircut video, for example, you can do like very like rudely spraying them and stuff, like clearly in their face or something like that. Or like if you're cutting their hair, you can be like, no, it looks fine, don't worry, you know, that kind of stuff. Like depends on the scenario, but there's usually you usually just like think of a funny way to incorporate something you're doing with a trigger and like make that part of the character.
What was the question? I forgot. I was
paying
too much attention to what he was saying.
Do we do triggers?
Yes.
How do you mix in triggers?
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, that's the hardest part for me, 100%. When I come up with characters or videos, I always come up with either like the aesthetic or the character and how I want them to act and how their personality is. But trying to figure out what ASMR triggers to add in is just, yeah, that's the hardest part for me. I have to like sit down with a list of triggers and be like, okay, this one's plausible. Yeah, I can put that one in. Otherwise, I have to do like with what Tippy Tappy said, I have to make it a part of like a spa or like a haircut or something like that, so that it already is an ASMR video, but I just add the character into it. But I rarely do that.
Yeah, I think I do something like that, more like same thing as Liam. Like if it's part of a role play, it's easier because you already have like some triggers in your head. You're like, okay, I know what I can use. But there have been many videos of mine that is just me whispering binaural, but it's just me being rude.
There's a running theme here with all the people that are living in England. We're just really rude.
Yeah.
I did notice that a lot of y'all love to do rude characters.
That's
and I'm
true, isn't it? I like just realized that.
I think Fred's voice has something to do with that. I think he started the trend.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when the like the worst reviewed videos like started going like massive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that
all
trend.
I was thinking about is like it's just like watching a rude English like Fred video. And
I'm like too nice. I have a difficult time being a rude character.
Yeah, same.
Well, if you watch British television, you watch Red Dwarf or something, and you'll see where that kind of sass or Monty Python even they love that.
IT Crowd is my go-to.
Oh, I love IT Crowd. One of my favorites.
I love that shit. Oh, I didn't answer, by the way.
Yeah. Please. I want to.
So for me, it's kind of a combination of generically throwing in simple triggers like tapping and crinkling on whatever I'm holding, but also sometimes strategically doing triggers based on the interaction with the character of the viewer. For example, my Russian doctor Dmitry, whenever he reaches out to the patient, he pulls back and he's like, "Нет, don't bite. Нет, don't bite." So, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think I just remembered as well. Like it's quite funny when when the scenario or the role play like really doesn't fit a trigger. Like a good way to do it that I've seen people do is like they'll make a joke out of that. You know, it'll be like, why are we
whispering? yeah, something like that.
Or like they'll just like start tapping and be like make a joke out of the fact that they're tapping in a situation where you clearly like wouldn't be doing that. Like that can be quite a funny way to like bring it in.
GB was brilliant with her Linda video. She said that Bobby's upstairs sleeping, and with my Bob video, it was kind of like an unofficial sequel that and I say Linda's upstairs and she's sick, and she claims this happened before and the other way around. But I heard she claimed that I was pretending to be sick, but no, I was actually sick.
Oh. I don't think that like I started doing videos because my followers actually asked me to do them. Like I don't like them. Like I don't watch them. I like Liam's because he's funny, because he's serious. Because you get so serious. Yeah, I'm actually feel bad. I'm like, do my followers also feel like do they scare of me? Like, oh my gosh,
it's amazing how
but
they
ask for it.
Love that kind of genre.
I was scared.
I couldn't fall asleep to someone
I was scared
being
of you
rude.
at first, Carol. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, rude. That's rude more than my role plays.
Yeah, I don't know why. I love rude role plays. By the way, I don't know why. I don't know why.
They're fun.
It's definitely the humor for me.
That's probably
like the two go together like really well, and I think Fred is probably ASMR Ryan is really good at it as well. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
I watch, they're like they're good at ASMR, but they're also like funny in like not always in a like super trying to make a joke sort of way, but like you know the rudeness or the sassiness or something like. And I think I don't know, there's like a perfect mix of the laughter makes you just feel like relaxed and in a good mood and happy, as well as like the ASMR relaxing. So I think like that really works for me. I guess for some people it's like laughter maybe puts them off of relaxing, but it's like for me that's like a really good mix for like making me feel great.
So I've got a good one here. Another question that is, what is your favorite role, comedic role that you've done for your own videos? And could you tell us a little bit about it?
My favorite is.
Can I go on my channel?
Yeah. My favorite is either my Bard or my Evil Scientist. My Evil Scientist is based off of Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. So I just love that movie.
Bone here.
Yeah, so that's why I love that one. But the Bard for me is my favorite to play because it reminds me of like that dynamic in TV shows where you have that like comedic relief, goofy side character and the very serious like Geralt, where he's just like, what are you doing? And he's just like, woo, I'm just gonna be crazy on the side here. And I love that energy. I love that dynamic. So I love to pretend that the audience is just like very stone-faced. I'm just being an idiot. And they're like, well, I can't say what Geralt says, but you know.
You know, it's funny you bring up Dr. Evil. As you may tell, Dr. Evil is another voice I love to do. In fact, that's one of
love that.
It's one of the first voices I've ever done when I was like 13. One the big things that inspired me to do voices was Austin Powers, King of the Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories, and of course Saturday Night Live, particularly doing impressions of presidents and presidential candidates. Like, I never get political publicly, but I do love presidential humor, especially Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. You know, I really love that shit. Like, again, not taking any political stances whatsoever, but I digress. But it's crazy that I never did a Dr. Evil role play. I probably will. I just need to get a bald cap. The beard's staying. I refuse.
Please do it. I would love it. I would love it so much.
There's a good amount of role plays I didn't do because I refuse to shave the beard. To be perfectly honest,
you can just make up a reason as to why he has a beard, even though he lost all his hair in space.
That's what I did with my Bob Belcher sequel, because my
you could pretend it's fake. Be like,
well, what I did was because I didn't have a beard when I did my first Bob Belcher role play. I put makeup on as the mustache. But I did have one when I did my sequel, but I was in the crawl space. It takes place in the second episode where he's in the crawl space, and I just said that I was in there for a prolonged period of time and grew a beard.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense.
But it's convenient that Solid Snake has a beard in most cases, because then I could just be Snake whenever I want and not have to worry about it.
So did Tippy Tappy, Carol, did you have any thoughts on your favorite comedic role in one of your videos?
So I actually think I do have one. So I did Red, which was like a Victorian male escort character, which was just like absolutely outrageous idea for a video. So it was part of a collab. So everyone was like, they were doing a Victorian like whores and horrors.
I remember that one.
And like, so I never would have thought to do that, like that idea for a video myself, but I was like, this actually sounds like a lot of fun. And it was like, I like really dialed up like the sassiness and the rudeness. And it was just a really, like, actually a really funny scenario to do that in, because it was kind of like, yeah, I could bring in some inappropriate like humor and innuendo into it as well. So it ended up being like a lot of fun to make that video. And I actually think I'll probably bring that character back at some point. It was also a good excuse to get shirtless in a video, so
that's true.
But yeah, that was funny. That was definitely a fun time to make that video. Like more fun than I thought, because I did that as well, like without a script. I just had like, I'm gonna be a slightly sassy thing, but then I just got like so into the role, like when I was doing it. It was just brilliant.
I think I cannot know if I can choose one, but I started doing these I don't know how to explain it in English, but it's funny because I'm half. My parents and the complete rest of my family is Argentinian. I'm the only one that's Spanish. So I grew a really big community in Argentina because I can talk with an Argentinian accent like perfectly, and everyone is like, they think that I'm Argentinian, but I mean, I'm not. I was born in Spain and grown up and everything in Spain. So I love the role plays that I do in Argentinian, because I don't know why I always I think it's because my viewers like the sassy role plays. So I always get into that sassy one, and I don't know, it's this, I just go off the rails, like this inappropriate, this rude, I'm so sorry if you guys ever watch it and understand what I'm saying. I love you, okay? Don't take it seriously. It's not real.
I really love being sassy back in the comments. I remember a few months back, Carol did a date roleplay video, and naturally I made timestamps of all the most Carol moments ever, like when she said, sorry about this outfit, I'm going to kill my friend. And I was like, I didn't mean to wear this like dominatrix shit or something like that. I just made timestamps of all that shit.
Yeah, it was because people see it and they're like, oh, she's being funny, and then you are like, no, that's Carol. Like, yeah. Liam knows as well when something is very Carol.
Love you.
You know, I just realized, Liam, you've got that Dragon Ball in your hand this whole time. I keep waiting for you to go, God, make your wish.
It's actually a little moon, but I am a huge Dragon Ball nerd.
Yeah, I know. We share that in common. So, all right. So I've got, I think this is probably our last question for my questions. Then we'll jump into the audience questions here, because we're getting close on time here. But I thought this was important to ask, but what happens if they don't laugh? And what's your worst, like, just it didn't go so well story where you thought it would be hilarious, but it wasn't, maybe?
Here, you want to know my honest answer? I don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I had like a bad thing happening. Like, I made like this insulting you video back in December, and it was supposed to be funny, and most of like 99% of the people took it like, because I was like being like very obviously silly, like, oh, my tiny little piece of poo, you know, like it was like very obvious that I was being silly, but some people took it really bad. And then my video ended up like in a
Chessie reacted to that, I can tell.
No, it's because
like,
Pixel. It's because Pixel jumped next to him and he was sleeping.
I couldn't see Pixel.
Pixel, that's very rude. So my video ended up like in this Spanish 9gag, and everyone was like roasting me and saying rude stuff, and I was like, yeah, because I didn't care because I was just like complaining about ASMR because they were sharing it like in a community of people that didn't know what ASMR is.
Yeah.
They were like, why is she whispering? You know, the kind of things people do. God. So I was like, I was just trying to do a silly video. What happened, guys? Sorry. But yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta sass back at the trolls. Just the other day, I won't name names, but somebody in the TingleCon chat was obviously a troll, and they started coming to me like trying to find out information of me that is known publicly, but I'm not gonna like get super into it with a troll. But they asked me, how old are you? And I said old AF, and they said age. I said ice.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good one. Like, I mean, because I normally say 105. Like when they ask me how old I am, I always say 105.
That's a good one.
Like I'm very consistent with
I
my
just
shit.
I just got the joke. I just got the joke.
I really should start saying.
You just got it.
Come on.
I really should just start saying 69 or 420.
Yeah.
Or
I'm just gonna leave now. Bye.
Maybe from now on I'm gonna say my age is 69,420. Boom. Done.
God, that's even slower than Keith, and Keith is really slow normally.
I'm really not. Carol loves to say that a lot, but no,
I just recorded 3 videos, so my brain is like.
Oh yeah. I was recording as well. I swear, I was recording as well. That's the boobs were for the video.
Same. I was wearing a very similar outfit, but I took it off
obviously.
the panel.
You had time to change.
Yeah, I wanted to let you shine.
I could not record anything for this last week because I've been killing myself getting ready for the con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at the questions literally like 5 seconds before I joined this. I was like, I got up really early today. I was like, I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to spend like loads of time planning. And then I started recording.
I'm
like
the opposite.
videos.
I'm the opposite of that. If going back to the whole scripting thing, even when it comes to questions and panels, for the most part, I rather just have them thrown at me on the spot because because if I have to plan it, I feel like I have to do it all a certain way, and that's where I fuck things up the most.
Yeah. There's a lot less pressure if you just wing it. Guys.
Exactly.
So, did Amy K? Did you have want to add to that?
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure a lot of my videos have flopped and have been not funny to other people, but they are nice enough to not tell me. So I don't know. I don't know if any of them have flopped.
Yeah. If somebody
People
told me
just
it's
nice.
not funny, I'd like to know where it wasn't funny so that I can improve on it.
Yeah. My viewers do the opposite. Like I love when I go to the comment section and they put the minutes and they quote something that I said that they found hilarious. And they do that a lot, and that makes me so happy. Like I think it's gonna be my new thing to go to every time I'm sad, because I just go there and I see that someone found some stupid thing that I said funny, and I'm like,
it's a good
awesome.
feeling. I love it when that happens to me,
it's
but it
silly.
also feels weird because I'm used to being the person who does the quoting, and now that I'm a content creator, people are now quoting me. Shout out to my friend Jay, host at Lure, one of my mods. He does that all the time, and it's so damn flattering.
All right, so I got to ask one. This is kind of just a lighthearted one to end my section of the questions, and then I'm going to jump into the audience questions here. But what's the most funny troll comment you've received? Or most funny comment? It doesn't have to be a troll.
Oh, I got a good one for you. Somebody said, good video, really good video. Didn't watch because not gay, but good video. What? First of all, how do you know it's a good video? And what does not being gay have to do with watching ASMR?
Wow.
I think he watched the video and he felt some feelings.
Yeah.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I honestly, I think my subscribers are so funny. I could not single one comment out. Every video, they're always throwing jokes at me.
So for me, like I'm sure I've had it's on the spot and I didn't prep, so I haven't got good examples. But I'm sure I've had some actually funny comments of people like trying to be rude and just being like, I don't know, embarrassing themselves. But definitely my Darth Vader videos, just the amount of people that are overwhelmingly commenting "choke me, daddy," and it's just because I do like the force choke thing in the video, but it's just like, wow, my viewers are pretty wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were playing Ring of Fire, Liam.
You know what you gotta do? You know what you gotta do in response to that?
Choke me, daddy.
Do a Homer Simpson role play where they're Bart and you're strangling them, because then you're a daddy choking them. Just kidding, don't do that.
My God, that's actually good. Oh God, it's awful. It's so good, it's awful.
So, sorry. So I wanted to end my questions on a lighter hard note, but let's go into the audience questions because we have a ton of questions. I want to make sure we have time. We've only got about 20 minutes left. So let's go ahead and start with the first one here from somebody very talented, Tinglesmith, ASMR, a previous panelist. What is your favorite joke?
I've got one. Everybody dead silent. I have one, and it's terrible, but that's why it's my favorite.
I have one too, but I'm letting you go first because you spoke first.
There's this crab, right? Walks into a bar, and the bartender just turns around. He's like, "Get out!" And the crab's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Get out of the bar." And he's like,
I'm gonna laugh.
What have I done? And the bartender's like, "Do you not remember the other night? Came in here, you were giving it all this."
Oh my God.
So you know that question of what you do when nobody laughs? That's the joke to let you find out.
My problem is that I love bad jokes.
He looks like genuinely disappointed in me.
He's uncomfortable, like he wants to leave the room.
He's like, oh, maybe you should have prepped for this.
My favorite is from Dimitri Martin. I think they named oranges before they named carrots. What are these? These are orange. Some oranges. What are these? Oh, shit.
Why?
Long pointies?
Why? Why? Oh God! Please, Amy, you go.
We need the viewers to vote on which one was better.
So I suppose I don't really have jokes prepared. So I thought about like what joke in a movie do I laugh at every time? Because a lot of times I'll watch a movie and the second time I watch it, it's not funny. But the one joke that I laugh at every time is in the movie Dumb and Dumber, where he's like, "So do I have a chance?" And she's like, "More like 1 in a million." And he's like, "So you're saying I have a chance?"
Oh yeah.
And then later on in the movie, he like finds out she has a husband. He's like, "Hey, what was with all that 1 in a million talk?" And that cracks me up every single time. That, or in Austin Powers where he's on like the little cart and he's like trying to back up. He's like stuck in between. Every time.
I haven't watched Austin Powers in so long, but like everyone's talking about it, so I need to watch it.
I don't know why I brought it up so many times in this one, but I really love that series. So
it's the best.
Oh God, I think for me it's because I didn't know. I was going to say that I don't know because I'm someone that loves comedians that actually do like storytelling, like they tell you like a situation, like Gabriel Iglesias. He's also American and he's so good. I love him. He's one of my favorites. I was going to see him live and then the pandemic happened. Yes, but I love him. Like all his stories, like I always crack up. Like I love it. But then I was thought when you said that, Amy, I was thought about Friends. And he was very like, but I love Chandler and and there's two of his that I love and every time I laugh, so please forgive me for this. But when they're watching like all VHS videos and they're like, "Oh my God, Monica, you were so fun," and stuff like that. And Monica is like, "Hey, the camera adds 10 pounds." And Chandler says, "How many cameras are pointing at you?"
Oh,
it's
Monica.
awful. I know it's an awful joke that I shouldn't laugh at, but I'm sorry, it's been too long and I still laugh at it. And then the other one is when he's complaining about something and then apparently he's in front of a door. I don't know what he's complaining about, but he ended up saying, "What would you know? You only like knock jokes." And I'm like,
wow.
I'm sorry, it's just Chandler.
No, I love
cracks me up.
Sarcastic characters are my all-time favorite.
Yes.
I think sarcasm is one of my absolute favorite types of comedy.
Absolutely.
So, Chandler.
Sarcastic and dark humor and stupid humor are my jam. I'm a big fan of Beavis and Butthead, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm proud of it. One of my favorite bits they did was they were watching a music video, Grim Reaper, and their lead singer had a really pungy face. I'm not here to make fun of people for certain body types. I don't judge, but what Beavis said was so amazing. He was like, He looks like when you just got out of the, you were just eating those urinal mints. And Butthead's like, what are you talking about, Beavis? You take a leak and then you finish up and then you freshen up with those urinal mints. Beavis, you're not supposed to eat those. Oh yeah, I was just kidding, dumbass.
Oh god.
Jeez.
I think that's going to lead us into our next question here, that was well done. So this is kind of like a complicated question or like a multi-parter, but I think let's just read it. The idea of comedy and ASMR raises the question, what is the function of an ASMR video? Is it for entertainment primarily or to put people to sleep? Has it evolved as a medium over the last few years into something more theatrical? Finally, do you expect people to watch your videos purely for the entertainment comedy without any intention of going to sleep? So I guess this person, and this is from, I wonder how long they will let me make the. That's the username. So I think the question they're really trying to get at is, what is the function of ASMR? Is it for entertainment? Is it to put people to sleep? And, how has it evolved in your opinion?
I really
depends
think
on the person.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person and or the niche.
Yeah, for me, there's two types of ASMR that I use. I barely use ASMR to fall asleep because I sleep a lot. But I use ASMR to. Well, it's like the opposite. I won't get into it. But yeah, so when I am feeling like really anxious, ASMR does calm me down. But when I watch like comedic ASMR, it like doubly calms me down. So comedy and ASMR is, I think, the best because when you're like, when you're about to have, you're building up to have an anxiety attack. It's like right here, you're obsessing over it. You're thinking about it. How's my breathing? How's my heart rate? And then you go to watch an ASMR video. If it's slow, for me, there's time. If someone's slowly going like this, there's time in between for me to be like, oh yeah, what about that? Oh, what about this? But if it's funny and it's pulls you in really quickly, and it's entertaining, but it's also ASMR, it immediately snaps me out of it. So I think that as ASMR evolves, people will be able to see it as more than just something to put people to sleep.
Yeah.
So
for me,
it's more entertainment now.
Yeah, for me, it's all the above. It depends on what kind of video I'm watching. Like if I'm going to sleep, I'm going to do like a simple trigger video mostly. Sometimes maybe a role play that's much more trigger heavy. But if I'm bored and need some entertainment, but I'm also anxious and want to calm down and laugh, of course I'll put on some comedy ASMR. But I really envy y'all that sleep a lot, because I do not. A good night's sleep to me is 6.5 to 7 hours of sleep. In fact, I was at an ASMR Destiny stream recently, because he was talking about a device where you wear over your head and you fall asleep, and then when you're in REM sleep, it flashes a subtle light, and then you could see in your dream, and you're dreaming, so you go into lucid dreaming mode, which is really cool. And I was like, if I get one of those, I'm really gonna need to make the most of my lucid dream, because according to my Fitbit, I'm only in REM sleep for like 55 minutes at the most, even if I have 8 hours of sleep total. And this was his response. Oh no, FamKam, that's not good. There you go.
I think for me, it's kind of like I was saying earlier. So I guess that question, there's probably a lot of people that are like, if it's funny, it's not relaxing, and if it's like relaxing, it shouldn't be funny.
I always say that laughter relaxes you.
Yeah, but it's like with for me, like like funny ASMR generally, it's not like stand-up comedy, like laugh out loud, hilarious the entire way through, like you're on the floor dying. But it's like it's just like, I don't know, like a funny sassy character, or there's like Ryan does quite a few where he'll just like come out with every night he'll just say something absolutely absurd that like does make you laugh a little bit. But it's like for me, like to actually relax and like get ready for sleep, those two things do go together really well. Like if I'm having a bit, like I'm laughing to myself a little bit, and I'm like generally the tone of the video is pretty relaxing as well, like that really helps me like just relax and switch off. And I think it's a bit similar to like what Amy was saying. It's like if I just watch a trigger video, it's almost like it doesn't really pull me in. It doesn't, like I don't get into it. But if it's like something either entertaining or not just funny, but like if there's a really good role play or something where I'm like in the scenario, and it's the same with like funny scenarios, it's like that pulls me in a lot more. So that does help me to like relax and just kind of be like just tune out everything else and just be focused on the video. So I think like for me the two go together really well. But obviously I get that some people, if they're like laughing or they find it funny, they're like they're not sleeping. But I think a lot of people do like find that relaxing.
And I have a lot of subscribers that will watch my video, or not subscribers that will watch my video and be like, I clicked on this to take a nap, but I couldn't help but watch the whole thing because it was so entertaining. And as an ASMR artist, I would be like, oh, dang, I failed. But at the same time, I don't think that, because I know personally, I also watch ASMR to calm myself down, not just to sleep. So
absolutely. I feel the same way. Like when I started, I felt like I failed if somebody watched my video all the way through and didn't fall asleep, because that when I started, ASMR was all about that for me. Not so much anymore. I mean, I still fall asleep to ASMR all the time, but it's become a broader thing for me as I watched it more and more and did it more and more. But if somebody gets anything positive out of my videos or streams, I'm happy, because I generally want people to just feel better about their day, however it may be.
Yeah.
As long as it's safe for work, because that's what anyway.
It's just about making people happy. So.
Yeah. If people do naughty stuff to my shit, just don't tell me. That's all. That's all I ask.
Did you what?
You heard me.
No, I didn't. I think it was good that I didn't. I got Liam, save me. What did you say?
I was about to say.
Saying it's not my business.
So I listen to I used to listen to ASMR to sleep pretty much like all the time. It's weird, like since I've made ASMR, I generally listen to ASMR less. But I think that's just because like I don't sleep.
It reminds you of work. I think, at least that's up to me.
But I always used to listen to ASMR as well. Like if I was at work doing something that was like I didn't have to be very switched on. So like if I'm doing like some like planning or something like that where I'm just sitting on my laptop, I'd always have it on then. And like those are the times where I would like pretty much like in the daytime, if I'm listening, I would only be listening to people like Fred or Ryan, where it's like it's also entertaining because obviously I don't want to fall asleep. So I think there's like those are good for both scenarios. And I mean there's loads of people that listen to ASMR not just for sleep, which is like an important thing. So I think that like definitely has
I agree with that. I do the same. Like when I'm working, like I like to have something there, and if it has more like a story, so like something fun or something, I'm going to be like like relaxing to it without even noticing, I think. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to the chat. I was reading the chat right now and they were being so nice. And I agree with Whisperwind, because she said that she needs like a story in her head when she goes to sleep. And I'm the same. Like I see, even when I was little, I used to make up these stories in my head every time I used to go to sleep to like.
That's how I fall asleep. Like
that's how I don't fall asleep. The stories in my head keep me awake because my brain's going haywire.
Because if it's real life, then no, because you're like stressing. You're like, I have to do this tomorrow. I have to do this and that. But if you're like, and then I turn around and then there's like, I don't know, a hot guy in the corner. Like I don't know. But like if you make up like a story, you get into it and suddenly you're asleep.
I mean, like I've had that exact conversation because Katie has a lot of trouble like sleeping, and I remember for me, like if I tried, like I never tried to go to sleep, like that's not like if I get in bed and I'm like, oh, it's time to go to sleep, I don't lay there thinking I need to go to sleep, because that would like make me not be able to sleep. I'll literally just like purposely just lay down and like daydream about like anything, like I'm a superhero or like I'm, in some random scenario or something. Like I'll literally just sit and daydream some weird story or something, and then I'll end up falling asleep. So interesting that there's like a few of us that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I want to ask, I think we've got time for maybe 2 more questions. So I want to just jump into those real quick here. So this one I think is kind of a little bit philosophical here, but I think it's a nice question to ask. What do you think ASMR and laughter have in common?
They calm you down.
Sorry, and it was asked by Julie Rosebauer. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
De-stress you.
Yeah, they de-stress you
Yeah.
in different ways. ASMR calms you down in a more calming by nature kind of feeling, but laughter in a non-ASMR sense calms you down at the end. It's like having a cup of coffee. It lights you up, and then you calm down from that, and your stress is just gone. So combining ASMR with laughter can be a bit of a challenge, but I feel it might be just me, but I feel like if you're doing calming ASMR while telling funny jokes or doing funny mannerisms, it can kind of trick your brain into staying in calm mode while laughing a little bit like that. And I think that's a great thing. It combines two forces that are seemingly, it's a paradox. They appear to be in conflict, but they can be complementary.
I don't know. They both make me happy. So
Yeah.
yeah, to me, it's like the ultimate combination. Like, why wouldn't you put them together? Whereas some people, they would come to one of my videos and they'd be like, this isn't ASMR because you aren't whispering and you aren't talking slow. But then other people, the majority of the people on my comments are like, this is like top quality ASMR, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's that like, yeah, for me it's that like same, like not the same, but the like pleasant feeling that you get from both is like they're different but they're similar. I guess like tingles would be like a physical pleasant feeling for your like brain or whatever, and then laughter is kind of like a non-physical version of that for your heart or your mind or whatever.
Yeah.
Similar sort of good positive energy.
Did anyone else want to add to that? Okay, let's move on to so we got 2 more here. So these are again from the audience questions. We have I'm gonna save the best for last, but we'll go with this one here from Sophia Keo. Is there anything that you find funny that other people don't find funny that you would stick to your guns to and duel at dawn over?
That is a good one. That is a really good question.
I wish I had prepared for that.
So puns is a very divisive thing.
Yes.
Like, loads of people think puns are like super annoying, super lame, and I just like it just cracks me up. Like the worst, lamest, terrible pun will just have me like.
Absolutely. I love anti-jokes, like jokes that are terrible on purpose and you laugh because of that.
Yeah,
like
really
a fish ran into a wall and said, "Damn," or
Oh gosh.
or a horse walks into a bar. Several people got up and left because they saw the danger in the situation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, dark humor where, well, I don't know.
Dark humor is the best.
Amy doesn't
like
want to be too controversial.
Yeah, I don't want to say like a really bad joke and
Yeah, I feel you. I don't like
and
the
like
dish.
upset anyone.
I
It's
don't like the
literally
dish
Jimmy
dark
Carr,
humor, but
like
yeah.
Jimmy Carr jokes, and you're like, I cannot tell that to my audience, those jokes,
Yeah.
because they're not
Gotta be careful.
nice. They're really rude.
I don't want to upset anyone or trigger anyone.
I think that's
Oh
like
my
interesting actually, because that's one of the reasons I think James Acaster is really good, because he none of his jokes are like. There's a very like standard thing with a lot of big comedians that it's just like their whole shtick is just like making fun of somebody or this group of people or this thing, and it's like I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, I think that was like
don't find that
90s
funny.
humor that's not funny anymore. Like now we see it and it's like, wait a second, like that was really rude. That's not funny.
Yeah,
So-
it's just like you.
So we
It's almost like
speaking
people are
of
just
which-
laughing because it's like an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, because it's awkward and you're like, what do I do here?
Like there's a few like that we put a few like of the Netflix like comedy specials on to like try and watch something funny.
I
And
have
it's,
to.
like, and it's just like this is like it's just not good.
By the way, I have to
Gosh.
read a dad joke that was just written in the chat from I Am a Grilled Cheese Sandwich, one of my mods here on Twitch. She's fantastic. What do you call a snake that's 3.14 meters long? A python.
Oh.
Math jokes.
Oh God, no.
That's good.
Math jokes. We love math jokes. All right, so I got my last question here for y'all, and then we'll just close out. But this one is from Jade. Jade asks, were you okay? So actually, I want to make a little preface here, but there's probably a lot of ASMR artists in the audience here, and maybe they're nervous about starting a channel. Maybe they have a channel. Maybe they're feeling bummed out, etc., etc. This person at Jade asks, were you nervous about making comedy ASMR? Like, were you afraid it wouldn't be successful or that people wouldn't find it relaxing? And maybe if you could talk to the person who's out there who maybe wants to start a channel but hasn't because they're fearful or something of that nature.
My piece of advice for that may not work for everybody, but it will certainly work for some. My answer to that is don't focus too much on doing a good job. And this goes for not just for comedy ASMR or ASMR in general, it goes for literally anything. Giving a speech, playing a song, singing in front of people, things like that, any type of performance. Don't focus on how good you're going to do. Instead, just enjoy it. Do what you love. Focus on the fact that you're passionate about it and you're enjoying doing it. Look at it no different as going for a hike, playing a video game or something like that. Do something that you enjoy at that level, and just and not are these people gonna like me? Am I funny? Am I entertaining? Instead, just enjoy it, and all that will just flow. In most cases, and if it doesn't,
that whole thing, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and if it doesn't flow right away, eventually it will, because you keep practicing, and it just becomes more natural and more natural over time. My first video was horrible. It's still up, but it is terrible because I had the mic gain way too high, and the fluffy mic, as a fluffy mic video, was like the inner layer was scratching against the mic too much, and it was all distorty. Like, scratchy sounds are great, but if it's all distorty, it kind of kills it, right? Don't worry about sucking at first. Everybody is terrible at first. I shouldn't say everybody, but almost everybody. Most of the elites, they had to start somewhere just like you. So don't get discouraged if you don't take off right away. It's normal not to. Just be patient and just enjoy the journey. It's about the journey, not the destination. As cliche as that is, it is a damn fact.
Yeah. I definitely say be yourself when you make videos on your channel. For me, when I first started uploading, I did not care about subscribers. I didn't see myself ever getting to 100K. I just wanted to express myself online. So I did immediately put up comedy videos, ones that I knew were crazy and weird, and people actually started liking them. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then when I got to around 50K, I was like, whoa, okay, I really want to get to 100K because I feel like that's a thing that I could do. And I actually started to pull back on comedy because, again, you get those comments that are like, well, this is an ASMR. Like, you aren't doing, a cranial nerve exam or a spa video. So this is an ASMR. And I would get that so much that I was like, okay, well, I want to grow. So I started to do more content like that. But those videos were doing so bad. And I was like, what's going on here? It does so well for other people. But what I realized is I grew my audience on funny characters and being silly. And that's what the people, they like about my content. And so I just did a 180 and I was like, all right, back to the original me. I'll come back with even crazier characters, and it really took off. And yeah, it's just, you have to grow a specific audience. You have to pick a genre. I mean, I don't think you have to pick a genre, but you have to pick a theme in your channel and stick with it. And you can do any type of video you want. You do not have to stick with classic ASMR videos to grow. And that's my thoughts on that.
I think for me is that that big thing of you don't have to be good at art to, that's not the point. It's kind of sad that there's people that haven't started a channel and they're worried about. And so obviously everyone is nervous that will I embarrass myself, will I be terrible at this, no one's gonna like it, it's gonna be really bad. I think that's a very normal feeling that everybody has to some degree. So definitely just if you feel like you kind of want to try it, take the leap and do it, and you'll probably have that feeling for a while, And it like eventually that feeling goes away. Like with more videos, you make stuff, and even if you are really terrible, like the good thing about doing it more is everybody gets better. Even if you started off pretty good, everybody gets better. Like the more they do it and the more they think about it and the more you learn, and that's just really cool to do, whether you blow up or not. It's like you will make stuff that you're more proud of, like over time, which is a good feeling. And then like the other thing is like, if you want to do it, like it doesn't matter if you're not, like, I mean, I'm not successful with it, probably never gonna happen, but it's like it's fun.
Oh, it'll happen. Stuff.
And I don't know, I feel like that's a bit like the world generally has like got us all like that with everything. Like you can't look at anything now without like we all have to be thinking about like money and living and survival and all this stuff. So it's like sometimes it's hard to be like, we can just have a hobby that's just enjoying the art, whether I'm good or not. Like if it's fun and you feel like if you feel like you want to try it but you're worried about it, like try it, like make a video, like see how it feels like doing it, and if you enjoy it, then like that's that's a good thing on its own, and then hopefully more stuff will happen from it. But yeah, just like, I don't know, make if there are people in that position right now, I'd say like maybe just try record a video, even if you're not sure if you're going to post it. Like just try and do it and see if you enjoy it.
I think it's just, you just need to be yourself, because in the end what you're growing is like an army of mini-me's, mini yous. So you just want to surround yourself with people that think alike with you, I suppose, because obviously there are going to be people that you're going to enjoy talking in the comment section and everything. So you're not going to do something just because it gets the subscribers. I don't know. Like, I remember that I started doing those things at some point in my channel in the first year, because I was trying to try everything because I didn't know what my thing was. But then I made this video when I changed to Spanish. I did this video, just a silly one. It's like the weirdest interview of your life, something like that. And it was just me and a notebook and me asking like ridiculous questions, like why does Goofy walk in 2 legs and Pluto walks in 4? Like, why do we run when it's raining if it's raining also? In the other side, like it was really, 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 really silly questions. And I had like a running gag in that video that I was like, so from 1 to 5, how stupid would you say you are? And like the whole video was like serious. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, this type of questions I have to repeat them, because it's the type of questions that let me know if you're lying. So I'm trying to see if you answer differently. So I don't know, that silly video was actually the video that made me grow, and I would have never thought in a million years people would enjoy my silliness. And I was like, oh, there are weird people like me out there. Okay, thank you. So just be yourself and enjoy what you're doing, because if not, why are you doing it?
Oh, yeah, I agree that one of the best feelings is when you start building your community and you find a lot of people that think like you and they make the same jokes that you do, and it's just a lot of fun.
I felt like I hit the jackpot with that when I joined the ASMR community. I was like, there were a bunch of Keiths in this community. I felt like I was living a lie until then.
Awesome.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I definitely feel like I found my people here, because that's like because of doing ASMR. Like, obviously that's not like a reason to start it, but it's like there's stuff that will come out of it that's great that you never even think of, that's like incredible, because now I have a bunch of real life friends like Carol and Maya and everyone, Ollie. It's like we're all real life friends now because of
Cries an American.
And my actual,
I'm meeting J-Rob next week.
Who I live with is because I started an ASMR channel. It's like, yeah, like the good stuff comes out of it, and you end up making friends with a lot of people. Like, it's just a really, like, if there's something you enjoy, whether you're good at it or not, you're gonna find other people that enjoy that sort of thing, and that's really more valuable than I think a lot of people would expect when they start like a channel or something. Nobody really sees how big that's going to be, but it is huge.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And on that note, and actually, there will be a US meetup one day, and you guys on the other side of the pond, you'll be jealous. You'll be jealous. Oh, we'll rub it in for sure. We'll post the best photos.
Oh my God, I can't wait for all the captions, like, UK people, you wish you were here, huh?
That's right.
But
That's
I
right.
want to go.
Yeah, we'll fly over. Let's do it.
Darn.
Next week, expect a few pics on Instagram with Jay Robin and he's coming up here next week.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
So listen, I just want to say once again, that was a fantastic panel. I think everyone learned a lot. Thank you so much, Amy K. Thank you so much, Tippy Tappy, FamKam, Carol. We were all great. I think, again, it was super interesting and hilarious. And I enjoyed the jokes personally. So if FamKam, if you want to take us away. FamKam, you want to take us away here with maybe some ASMR beats to we actually I should say this. Carol, do you want to say maybe what we have in store for the next couple hours here? I think that we should probably
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
We have 2 more panels today. We have the sexualization. Oh my God, I can't say that. Sexualization of ASMR. Sorry, I have new aligners.
That's my new
aligners. So I'm having a lisp the whole weekend. So the sexualization of ASMR. We wanted to change the name of the panel, and then we never did. And that's what
we did not. No, we did not.
We never did.
It accurately describes the topic and the contrary.
It is, yeah. It's just because it sounded like aggressive. It sounded like aggressive, like we were against sexual ASMR. So we were like, not like, it's not about that. It's it's there. It's there.
We'll make sure to show up and you'll find out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's no matter how you explain it, there's always going to be more than meets the eye once you get right into it. It's like take Slipknot for example. They have a lot of angry, aggressive lyrics, but they're not like violent people per se. They just they're just regular guys like the rest of us.
It's more like talking about the whole situation. It's not like attacking anyone or anything. Okay. So don't worry.
All right.
And then that's 6 p.m. EST. And then we have ASMR mental health, which is a panel that I think we always have repeated in every edition because I think that's so important and that so many of us has found help one way or another through ASMR. So it's going to be at 8 p.m. And then we have live streams by that side. Is that side, Keith? It's going to be streaming
on my screen.
Destiny.
I'm above you.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Now you're to the left. On my screen, you're to the left.
We're all sorted differently.
Yeah, it's all sorted.
Okay, there. No, I'm looking on the live stream. There.
Yes.
Keep live streaming, and then
you have to do it like this.
Oh, yeah.
Feel so comforted.
There it is.
So yeah, that's it. And then we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bite.
Fantastic. All right, well, that sounds like a great lineup, and I hope to see you at some of those panels. Thanks again. And Keith, why don't you fade into some of those beats?
Let's fade into some ASMR beats.
Let's do it.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you everyone for doing this.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you so much for having us.
Stay chill, everyone. We'll see you at the next panel. Bye.
Bye.